that your emotions play a key role also in hormone health and hormone balance. Many people become very unsettled in themselves. Many people become, as we talk about stress, but also they become, as we know, PMS is a condition that can create irritability. It can create all kinds of situations where mood swings can come in, or people move into a state of blame or anger or hatred or revenge. And sometimes some men may say, you know what, in the office they may say, it must be that time of the month. She's going through this. So the reason why they say that is because the hormones are now in full swing, giving you an expression of what you are experiencing. But the emotional body is so powerful, and we are now realizing that you are literally in a state of feeling something every moment of the day. Now, hormones play a key role in that whatever you state you're in, your emotional state is connected back to your physical body, and in terms of the fact that your emotional body and your physical body are constantly in communion, meaning that fear and worry get stored in the kidneys. If you're in a state of constant low self-worth and low self-esteem, that energy is getting stored in your spleen area. If one is in a state of constant anger all the time, that is going to affect the way your liver actually performs. And that energy gets stored in the liver. You probably know people who are always angry. They're always going through what we call a state of anger, and they end up with what they call liver problems. People who have just lost somebody, and they always maybe they're going through grief or loss. They may say, oh, you know what, I just lost my dad. And they always, every day they talk about how they lost their dad and how they lost their mom and how they lost their brother. Now, obviously, grief is something that's real, but people sometimes stay in the grieving process, and they also end up with lung problems because that's where the energy gets stored. Every person today who's got cancer has got an emotion of bitterness, lack of forgiveness, and resentment built into that emotion, which latches on and creates the cancer state. So we're seeing that this emotional state is also driven through hormone health, but also driven through the fact that your body creates the chemicals that create the disease that you end up with a disorder. So
we are saying that hormones
constantly criticizing themselves, they're also getting arthritis.
Wow. So you're saying that hormones and the imbalance of or states of prolonged anger, unforgiveness, and bitterness will actually cause physiological sicknesses. And you actually named the organs which they are linked to. And it is so interesting because I know someone who, as you mentioned, is always in a state of prolonged grief and not forgiving, and they actually had lung problems, and I didn't even know. So I'm just saying that, wow, we really need this really hits home on how important hormones are, and knowledge is definitely power.